Welcome back to another Secrets of the Pros on behalf of the Department of Youth Services here in Belize City, Central America. I'm your host, mixing engineer extraordinaire, musician, producer, and YouTube teacher. The only one-stop shop. You're going to get all the secrets like Britney Spears, Fat Mix, Beyonce, everything. And by the way, guys, support Royalty by Titan. It's a Belizean artist. Royalty is out on YouTube, free for download. And I'm happy to say we have reached about over 600 subscribers. Keep it coming, guys, and we'll tell you all the secrets. Now, by the way, I'm running voice meter. If you guys are having trouble using a PC, doing a screenshot with Camtasia here, I can send you the link for Camtasia and this voice meter here, so you can do tutorials like what I'm doing here if you're not using an Apple. But today we're going to be talking all about compressors, right? Compressor. And you're going to learn this thing quick. Don't be scared of the knobs and all these things. We're talking about vintage compressors. We're talking about digital compressors, all different shape and sizes. So, let me get down to it. First of all, a compressor is what keeps the signal from reaching a certain range here. So if I set my compressor to about the -2 dB, every time it hits a high peak, the needle's going to knock it back down. It's compressing it, just like it says. Now the controls, I know, guys, some of you may get a little confused and say, man, when I look at the compressor, look at this one. This one looks scary. It just has all kind of button ratios, and this one here looks simple. It has 2 knobs, but where's the threshold? I'm confused. Puig, this has another one, threshold, time constant. What do these things mean? And of course, another digital compressor here. So I'm gonna go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different compressors and explain to you that you can use any compressor on a vocal or instrument, just to gotta understand the controls. So let's first of all, you guys know what a compressor is. Not I explain it. I'm gonna use this song here from D-Star's upcoming new song. That's called "Stuck in the Ceiling." It's a trap beat, and I'm gonna play a little bit here. I'm currently running it through the 1176, right? So here we go.
DYS Studio, Bloodhound Records. You know we gotta stack that cash to the ceiling.
Mario got your back.
Giving up ain't a option. Homie, don't hit yet. I'm trapping for $1 million.
Compressor
Trap
off.
that money, stack it till it reach the ceiling.
Compressor on.
Yeah, all these haters deep in their feelings. They're deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo.
And if you compare that, it's fairly big and fat like Britney Spears.
They're deep in their feelings, ayy.
We'll be riding your balloons until they go.
Woo. I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks.
So let's get down to it. Now I'm gonna start off. Let's start off with the digital compressors. Right. So I'm gonna go with the most basic one, the C1 compressor. I know you guys know about this, right? Here you have your ratio, which if you raise the ratio, it compresses the vocal or the signal or the instrument, whatever you're using it on. It controls how hard the compressor is going to work, the ratio of it. The threshold is what's going to set the marker where you don't want the signal to exceed. And the attack softens the signal, like somebody's putting a pillow over it. Or it also opens up the signal, and you can also switch it in expand mode, which is the opposite of compressing. So to demonstrate, let's use that on D-Star's vocals. So I'm going to engage the compressor here. I'm going to bring the volume down to about where I had it with 1176. So let me set that real quick.
I pop the swag and I'm popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strip. Skirt, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop a whip. I'm popping off like a bullet. I'm dripping just like a faucet. Drip, drip with a neck drip. Pop fresh out the closet. Boss big, I'm taking it. Then all these haters, they gossip. What I got, they want it. They wasted time, broke pocket.
So you know, I might want to set about 2 to 1. So I'm going to increase the ratio a bit. This number might say 1.08, but if you go a little bit past 95, it turns to 2 here. This is going to be 2 to 1 ratio range, right? Just so you understand that.
I blast just like a rocket. Stash it in the attic where no one can find it. You maggots, I'm stack.
Watch what happens when I bring the threshold all the way down. It's going to compress the signal.
Back in the ballot. You better wait, you stuck in the traffic.
That's really crushing it, right? I'm gonna deactivate the ad-libs on such so you don't get confused here, because I'm having some doubles also running on the star mix here. So I'm only gonna leave open the
Homie, don't hate yet, I'm trapping for $1 million.
lead.
That money, stack it till it reach the ceiling. Yeah, all these haters deep in their feelings. They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo.
Now if I increase the ratio more than 2, it's gonna really hit the signal hard. Check it out.
They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo.
And if you go anyway past 4 to 1, you're basically turning the compressor into a limiter. Right, but we're not going to talk about compressor today. So I'm going to leave it about 2 to 1.
I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks. I pop the swag and I'm popping it. I'm popping just like.
Now between these lines is about negative 3 dB here. Let's bring back in 1176 here. Let's see how much dB we're compressing here.
Lace strips, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop a with. I'm popping off like a bullet. I'm dripping just like a fuck.
Okay, we're compressing about 10 dB. So let's replicate that on the C1 here.
Faucet, drip, drip with a neck drip. Pop fresh out the closet. Boss big, I'm taking it. Then all these haters, they gossip. What I got, they want it. They wasted time.
And then we can use the makeup gain here. Let's adjust the attack, right? That's what I tell you is like putting a pillow over the signal. So if we take it down to 0 here, let's see what's gonna do.
Broke pockets, I blast just like a rocket. Stash it in the attic.
So the lesser the number, the softer the signal. The higher the number on the attack, the more the natural signal is gonna cut through.
No one can find it. You maggots, I'm stacking the ballot. You better wait, you stuck in the traffic. Everything I'm swagging, I bought it.
Let's compare that with 1176 now. Make sure we have the same volume here.
What a dripping, I'm flooding my wallet. These haters, they looking so sad. Cause they ain't getting me mad. I'm just going for that bag. Then I go and shop my tags. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. Yeah, I'm rolling with the mob. Shop them gold, yeah, from Bob.
A negative 10, 20.
Just like a rocket. Stash it in the attic where no one can find it. You maggots, I'm stacking the
And it still didn't sound that bad, but let's take it back down.
ballot. You better wait, you stuck in the traffic. Everything I'm swagging up.
Notice it's only compressing about negative 7 dB. So
what a dripping, I'm flooding my wallet. These haters, they looking so sad.
So that's how you are.
Ain't getting me mad. I'm just going for that bag. Then I go and shop my tags. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo.
Now here's the attack. Now this attack work in reverse here. So right now I'm setting it at, it's over this side. It's the attack is hard, what you call slow attack. And when you talk about fast attack means I'm gonna soften the signal like a pillow stifling it. So fast attack means soft and hard attack means slow. So whenever you hear these guys on YouTube talking about I set my attack on slow attack on the drums, or I set my attack on hard. Slow attack means hard and fast attack means soft. So let's turn it up. And this works in reverse. So if I turn it up, increase the numbers, it's gonna soften the signal. Over here, if I increase the numbers, it hardens the signal on C1. So let's do that on this 1176 here.
Woo, they're deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling,
Soft, bring it back.
Deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling.
And the same thing with the release. If you say slow release, fast release, you know what it means. So let's go on slow.
Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings, hey.
The meter is barely moving.
Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings, hey.
And here's the ratio. Of course, I can pick 20, 12, 8. Remember, if I told you if you go past 4, it's going to be a limiting mode, right? So let's try that.
When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo,
12.
they're deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling,
All.
woo, yeah, I'm rolling with the mob, shop them gold, yeah, from Bob.
When you do this, you kind of send the compressor into like a burst mode, like really puncturing the signal. So at 4, normal works good on vocals, right?
If you lazy, get a job. If you broke, don't go rob.
Let's move on to another compressor here, right? So that's 1176. We're going to move down to the built-in compressor that comes with Studio One. Here I can see the ratio again. You look out for those buttons. You're going to always see that most of the time. Here's the threshold. The knee now is something new. The knee is it kind of softens up the signal before it hits the compressor, and that has to that's a relation to the attack before it starts to actually. This kind of controls how fast the attack is going to work. It's a little bit extra. So let's see if we can replicate this. Here I have the input here, looks like the vintage. Here I have the gain. I have the auto button here. I have a mix, which means you can either mix the dry signal of the compressor or the full flavor of the compressor by going 100%. So, and then this is just like you're doing with a reverb. With a reverb, I bring it down to about 30%. You'll hear a little bit of reverb. I go to 100%. You hear the full reverb. Here's a side chain here that you can use to filter out signals. You can use this as a side chain. Here's a button here as well. So right now it's set to 2. And don't be afraid to try presets, guys. So we have presets here for vocals. Look that up and you'll see the control chain, and you can get a basic idea how to set compressors. So I'm going to hit it back to default. I'm going to bring in I'm going to adjust the attack release, the ratio, and the threshold, and we'll see what we get.
Do your chores, though, just no hoe. When she peeping by your door, says she wanna feel my flow, but I got my wifey though.
If you're not sure if the release works in reverse, just watch the signal here. This is a little indicator that tells you the signal that is being compressed, right? So if I swing it all the way to the left here,
so me and you is
it's going fast, so we know this is a fast release. If I swing it to the right,
no, so it's best you let it go, cause my swag is dope.
We already know that's a slow release, right? And the 1176 over this side on the right side speeds up the signal, on the left slow it down. So on this one here, on the left side, it actually speeds up. So just play with it and you'll know if you're going fast or slow with the release. So let's see what's going on with the threshold here.
Homies looking broke, cause they lazy, sleep at home while I'm trapping in the stove. Yeah, I work, so I'm never.
You might say, Ray, how do you know how much to use on each compressor with the threshold? Some you can push a little bit harder, some you push less. Just listen to the signal.
Bro, you look thirsty, here's a coat. And I ain't running no joke, cause we both came from the pole. So go get your 9 to 4. Then we both get in that dope.
Same thing for the attack.
Like coke. Then we both ain't looking broke.
Speed up.
Fast life, so I'm living slow. Another home run in my home. If you grind it.
If I give a hard attack or a slow attack, I can compress a little bit more with the threshold without the vocal sounding compressed.
And you should grind all your life. Stack that cash. Go pay the price.
Here's a knee.
Sound like ice. Yeah, I'm living nice. Yeah, I'm living life. Cause you don't live it twice. Hey, ayy, they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling,
compare that with
woo,
1176.
woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling,
That's 1176.
they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling,
This is the digital compressor.
they deep in their feelings, ayy. While I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. Giving up ain't a option.
This is the drive.
Homie,
signal.
don't hit yet. I'm trapping for a million.
This is
Drop that
100%
money, stack it till it reach the ceiling.
compression.
Yeah, all these haters deep in their feelings. They deep in their feelings.
And let's see if I can use the digital as the 1176 by using the input gain as well. So let's check that out. Let's go back.
D-Star, DYS Studio, Bloodhound Records. You know we gotta stack that cash to the ceiling.
Mario got your back.
Giving up ain't a option.
So I can see that the input also acts like the 1176. So if we boost the input signal, automatically the compressor is going to compress more signal. So
Homie, don't hit yet. I'm trapped.
remember, the knee is at the point how quick the attack is going to respond to the signal. Rather than just a slow or fast attack, the knee kind of softens up that ratio there, the ratio. So that's
Trapping
it.
for a million.
Now, how can you tell the flavor between the 1176, which is vintage, and a digital compressor? Well, play the two and see which one, more or less, if you can hear, sounds better to you. Let's try the 1176.
Drop that money, stack it till it reach the ceiling. Yeah, all these haters deep in their feelings. They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling.
Digital.
They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. Wanna stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo. They deep in their feelings,
Bring the
ayy.
threshold
Wanna
down.
stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo. I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks. I pop the swag and I'm
1176.
popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strips. Skirt, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop it with. I'm popping off like a bullet. I'm dripping just like a faucet. Drip, drip with a neck drip. Pop fresh out the closet. Boss spit, I'm taking it. Then all these haters, they gossip.
1176.
What I got, they want it. They wasted time, broke pockets. I blast just like a rocket. Stash it in the attic where no one can find it. You maggots, I'm stacking the ballot.
Now, what I can tell you myself, I don't hear the difference. What I'm hearing is the 1176 add harmonics to the vocal. It gives it a little bit more excitement. It compresses it a little bit more than the digital compressor, although they're fairly to the same. Here's the numbers here, -12 and so forth. But it gives the vocal a good crush compression from 1176.
You better wait, you stuck in the traffic.
Digital.
Everything I'm swagging, I bought it. What a dripping, I'm flooding my wallet.
Let's push the threshold a little
These
bit more.
haters, they looking so sad, cause they ain't getting me mad. I'm just going for that bag. Then I
Wanna
go
bring up back the game?
and shut my tags. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling.
What I can hear here is the compressor is starting to work a little bit too hard, so let's back off on the threshold a bit here.
Woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling.
So it's just a matter of taste, guys. Just need to understand the controls. And let's back off on the ratio a little bit here. Try and get it as close as to the 1176 response.
Woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They deep in their feelings.
So that's the digital compressor. Let's move on down the line. We'll move on to the Puke Child from Waves. And let's see what we got. We had the input here. We have the noise button here. It introduces noise from the vintage harmonics. We have left and right. We can like a mid-side compression. We have the output, and this I believe is the ratio. So let's basically this is like the 1176. Now you might say, Ray, where is the release? Well, I don't see it. There's a threshold time constant, which is the ratio and the release in one. So let's check this out.
Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. Yeah, I'm rolling with the mob. Shop them gold, yeah, from Bob. If you lazy, get a job. If you broke, don't
Now we're going to compress it to about -10, right?
go rob, do your chores. Don't trust no hoe when she peeping by your door. Says she wanna feel my flow, but I got my wifey though. So me and you is no. So
Let's
it's
play with
best you
the
let
time
it go,
constant.
Cause my sweat is dope. Some homies looking broke, cause they lazy, sleep at home while I'm trapping in the stove. Yeah, I work so I'm never broke. You look thirsty, here's a coat. And I ain't running no joke, cause we both came from the pole. So go get your
Back
9 to
off on
4.
threshold.
Then we both get in that dope. Then we both popping like coke. Then we both ain't looking broke. No fast life, so I live it slow. Another home run in my home. If you grinding, you should grind all your life.
Let's compare with 1176.
Stack that cash, go pay the price. Sound like ice. Yeah, I'm living nice. Yeah, I'm living
1176.
life. Cause you don't live it twice. Hey, hey, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling.
Puke child.
Woo, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling.
1176.
Woo, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings.
Puke
Hey,
child.
while I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo, they're deep in their feelings. Hey, while I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo, woo, giving up ain't a option.
I really like how the Puke child is handling this signal here. I think on 1176 we can back off a little bit on it on the input. Let's do that.
Homie, don't hit yet, I'm trapping for $1 million. Trap that money, stack it till it reach the ceiling. Yeah, all these headers deep in their feelings.
I want to use the output
They deep in their feelings.
So make up back for level gain here.
To the ceiling.
Mario got your back.
Giving up ain't a option. Homie, don't hit yet, I'm trapping for $1 million.
Puke
Trap
child.
that money, stack it till it reach the ceiling. Yeah, all these haters deep in their feelings. They deep in their feelings. Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo.
Now notice I'm compressing about 10 dB and the vocal is still popping through, right? Now when I switch to 1176, it sounds a little bit softer. Check it out.
Woo. They deep in their feelings. Hey,
1176.
when I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo. Woo. They deep in their feelings. Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling.
Back
Woo.
off on
Woo.
input.
They deep in their feelings. Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo. Woo. I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks. I pop the swag and I'm popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strip.
Puke child.
Skirt, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop it with. I'm popping off like a bullet. I'm dripping just like a faucet.
So the Puke child is reacting very well to the vocals. Although we don't have a release time, the ratio here has an automatic release, you can say. Let's move on to one more compressor here, and this is the V comp. And it might look weird like a submarine. This is a built-in limiter and a compressor. And here we have the analog mode. We can switch to analog. Let's switch that to analog. And here's a compressor on and off switch. So I can turn on a limiter on it, and we'll have the attack release limit level, and we have a compressor. So let's check out the limiter section. So let's get the signal going.
Drip, drip with a neck drip. Pop fresh out the closet. Homie, don't hit yet, I'm trapping for $1 million. Trap that money, stack it till it reach the ceiling.
Let's bring the output up.
Yeah, all these haters deep in their feelings. They deep in their feelings. Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo.
This is like the threshold right here, limit
When
level.
I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo.
Release.
They deep in their feelings.
Have an
Hey,
auto.
when I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo.
Remember what I told you? Attack, fast attack. Here's it. Fast attack means it's gonna soften the signal. Slow attack is gonna let the signal ride through good.
They deep in their feelings. Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling. Woo. Woo. I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks. I'll pop this.
And also we can control the input. So let's take the let's take the output back to 0. I'm gonna use the input.
Swag and I'm popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strips. Skirt, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop it with. I'm popping off like a bullet. I'm dripping just like a faucet. Drip, drip with a neck drip. pop fresh out the closet. Boss bit, I'm taking it. Then all these haters, they gossip. What I got, they want it. They wasted time, broke pockets. I blast just like a rocket.
Now I'm limiting it to about 12 dB here.
Stash it in the attic where no one can find it. You maggots, I'm stacking the ballot.
Sounds okay, but let's switch to the compressor. Let's turn on the compressor here, and we're gonna compare that with 1176 here.
Homie, don't hate, yeah, I'm trapping for $1 million.
Okay, automatically here. Oh, here's a de-esser button to the DS. We have the automatic release, and here's the number 1.5 seconds to 800 milliseconds, and the compressor is on. So I'm gonna. The ratio is at 6:1. It's really compressing. It's basically in limiter mode, so you can use both if you want. I'm gonna set it to about 1.5 here.
Drop that money, stack it till it reaches the ceiling.
Bring down the
all these haters deep
output
in their feelings. They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo,
if I
woo.
increase the ratio,
hey.
it's gonna compress harder. Check it out.
Woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. I'm stacking it like
20,
I'm stacking bricks.
-20,
I pop this
4 to
and
1.
I'm popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strips. Skirt, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop up.
For our vocals, guys, make sure you use a ratio at least 1 or 2 to 1 if you need to, or 4 to 1 if it needs it. You know, you have to test it out for yourself.
Homie, don't hate, yeah, I'm trapping for $1 million. Trap that money, stack it till it reaches the ceiling.
Now in this one here, we don't have a threshold button, just the ratio and release and the de-esser on, so we can understand how the different compressors are set up, right, guys? And we can use it with the limiter as well. Here's the gain meter. If I set it to out, this is going to tell how much signal is coming out. In is how much signal is going in. And GR stands for gain reduction. So
all these
compare
deep in their feelings.
1176.
They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, hey. Wanna stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks. I pop the swag and I'm popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strips.
Notice when he gets to that part, I'm stacking it. It kind of gets a little bit soft, so let's compress a little bit more by using the input here.
Skirt, skirt, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm saving it till I shop with. I'm popping off
Bring
like
up
a
the
bullet.
output.
I'm dripping just like a faucet. Drip, drip with a neck drip. Pop fresh out the closet. Boss bit, I'm taking it. Then all these haters, they gossip. What I got, they want it. They wasted time, broke pockets. I blast just like a rocket. Stash it in the attic where no one can find it. You maggots, I'm stacking the ballot. You better wait, you stuck in the traffic. Everything I'm swagging, I bought it. What a dripping, I'm flooding my wallet.
In this case, I think we need to bump it up to 2 to 1. So it grabs the signal a little bit more, because D-Star is singing with a lot of energy.
Feelings, hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in the feelings, hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. I'm stacking it like I'm stacking bricks. I pop the swag and I'm popping it. I'm popping just like a lace strips. Skirt, skirt, yeah, you better wait, you stuck in the traffic.
1176.
Everything I'm swagging, I bought it. What a dripping, I'm flooding my wallet. These haters, they looking so sad, cause they ain't getting me mad. I'm just going for that bag. Then I go and shop my tags. They're deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo. They're deep in their feelings, hey.
So it just takes a matter of time, guys and girls, to fine-tune your compressor. So no matter how they look, you always find ratio, threshold, attack, release. Those are the common stuff, and that's how you get to master a compressor. Right now, whether you're mastering or compressing a vocal or a guitar, you know how to set these things and what the attack does and what the release does. And always the attack, release, and ratio plays a major role, as well as the input, the signal going in. So I'm gonna leave it back on 1170.
When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy. When I'm stuck in the ceiling.
And also what I have running here, let's see something. I have a limiter.
Woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, ayy.
Let's turn the limiter off here for a minute.
Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling.
Now, if I was doing using a master comp, let's try the SSL comp. Always also be careful when you have what you have on a mix bus while you're mixing, right? Because you might forget something is turned up on the mix bus and it's ruining your mix. So I'm gonna set it to 2-to-1 auto release. I'm gonna set it to 30, which is basically a heart attack. And I'm gonna play this.
Woo, woo, they deep in their feelings, hey. When I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo, woo, they deep in their feelings.
Normally 2-to-1 kind of let the compressor compress quite a bit, so I go to 10, switch about limiter mode.
Hey, when I'm stuck in the ceiling, woo,
so I get less compression.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the mob, shop them gold, yeah, from Bob. If you lazy, get a job. If you broke, don't go rob. Do your chores, don't trust no hoe. When she peeping by your door, says she wanna for $1 million.
So just want to share that with you guys. Compression is very important in mixing, and don't be afraid to give it a try. Sometimes you can compress the heck out of things and get some very good results, while certain things like vocals or guitars only need a little bit of compression to get it right in the ballpark. So we'll catch you in the next one.